You scoundrel, you. You know what Critical Hit is about, and you know it's not for kids. Content warnings can be found in the episode description. The following episode contains spoilers. You have been warned. Hello, world, and welcome to another episode of Critical Hit, a podcast where we drink beer and talk about everything. I am your host, Red King, and with me always is Crimson and Corona Warden.
Hello.
Tonight, we are talking about endings. Yes, it's just one big spoiler. Yes. Spoiler alerts, preempting.
Yes, this is going to be fucking spoiler warning 75 here.
Yeah. And we are drinking Roots and Trees and Friends and Things.
It sounds like we're drinking dirt.
By Beer Tree Brew. Could it be symbolic of the future? Possibly. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
We are ready. We are Critical Hit. This is Roots and Trees and Friends and Things. Pow! Cheers, bros. Let's go.
Cheers.
Ba-boom. What do we got here?
That actually doesn't smell too bad.
Holy crap. I think you're going to like this one. Holy crap.
Ooh.
That's just fruit juice, bro.
That is. That's
That
very
is wonderful.
peach.
Wonderful.
I get the peach. This kicks the shit out of that fucking crappy pineapple creamsicle.
Yeah. You didn't like that one?
Dude, how do you not remember that I didn't like that one? I gave it like a fucking 4.
So this is better because it's supposed to be like tea. It's peach tea. It's better than Twisted for sure. Like, not to call out such a big brand.
Yeah, that was, it's true, though. He got a line, but he's right.
But it's, yeah,
No,
it's good.
It's better than Twisted, but not as good as Mike's Hard. Granted, that's a lemonade, I guess.
No,
not
it
a
kicks
tea.
the living shit out of it.
It's
Anything commercial brewed, this kicks the living shit.
because this thing, that's like, it really does. It tastes like brewed tea. Like, it's real, like, refreshing when you drink
Yeah.
it.
Got that thickness of,
Yeah.
It's got that green tea, like that shit that just like coats your mucous membranes, helps you feel a little better.
Dang it.
That's good. That's a 7.
Yeah, it's about a 7 for me. Oh my gosh, really?
Is this gonna be your 3rd?
It's a 10 out of 10.
All right. You know what?
Listen,
I'm here for it.
10 out of 10.
that is really good. Like, I could drink that anytime. Like, you give me the hottest.
See,
sweatiest
right. That's
day.
what I was gonna say. I would actually drink this on a hot summer day.
Yeah, if it's hot out, if it's cold out, it actually has it hits good.
I would not drink it warm, but if it was cold,
Yeah. Always drink your beer cold. We are not
degenerates.
Yeah, degenerates. Will
Yeah,
go
we're gonna
with
say degenerates. So let's talk about the Roots and Trees and Friends and Things.
it. Yes.
Good job, Beer Tree. This is pretty fucking good.
This is a peach and green tea fruited sour.
7.3%
Yeah,
alcohol.
BV.
Fairly high horsepower on this one.
Yeah. What? It's so good.
You don't notice it.
Like, this is horrifying. It's dangerous.
Right, but remember that one like chocolate milk nitro we had was like 8,
Yeah, that one.
and it was the size of a soda can.
That thing was fucking stupid.
That thing was delicious though, because that was my highest rated fucking beer.
Here's the thing. No, that was good. There was no two ways about it. That was fantastic.
That was an 8.
The IBU on this is 0. It's fucking sweet.
Yeah.
Completely
Yeah.
not bitter at all.
Get more of these.
Oh, come on. That'd be too easy. Beer Tree Brew. This is
out of the park.
upstate New York local shit. Amazing. We've been to their restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a little too
Little frou-frou highbrow, but it's
hipstery
yeah,
for me.
it's
Well,
good food.
there's two versions. One's a little more trendy than the other.
Yeah, if you go to the farm, it's different than the factory.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
I've been to both. Great places.
No, I like the food. And
Fully recommend it.
this drink is fantastic, but I don't know. The factory's a little
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little out there.
it's just not my scene.
Yeah.
Guys who with twiddly mustaches, that's their whole personality.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. You guys should subscribe. So let's. The best way to get out of a hole is to stop digging, right? So that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna talk about the end.
Well, sometimes you have to dig to fill in the hole, so
Stop doing that.
keep digging till we hit daylight.
That's like when maybe
Wait.
that joke doesn't hold up.
Isn't there a metal song that's like about dwarves digging a hole, and it's like Lord of the Rings technically or some shit? It's like
I
I
wouldn't-
am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole, diggy hole.
Wow, that sounds like a.
No, it's there.
Sounds like a nursery rhyme.
Look it up. It's a thing. It's a metal song. It's good.
Okay.
So before we begin, I was thinking I would
Let's see where this ends.
right, and it's exactly about thinking. So we can't talk about D&D Rail for a while. Just waiting for this OGL fucking thing to calm down. So instead, I'm trying to introduce a new segment.
I'm cautiously excited.
And I was thinking about naming it like basically shower thoughts. It's just like and I came up with the perfect one. And I'm just gonna I'm gonna put this in the air, and I'm gonna let you guys discuss it for just a little bit, and then we'll get to our Yeah, I see Chrono. He's like holding his forehead. He's so exacerbated
How
already.
deep does the shower thoughts go? Because I just want to point out that it wasn't even. I mean, it was an episode ago. You went to some interesting paths.
Yeah, it's gonna get interesting.
Okay, hold on. Here's one for you. If you fill a bubble bath with holy water, are the bubbles holy?
I've got one better, and here's what we're gonna go with. We're gonna do that. This segment's called "From Red's Head."
All right, shoot.
Okay, so like, you know how in adult videos, like there's like always a pizza delivery guy.
Oh my lord! I'm
So
not
like,
ready for this.
it'd be one of those things where you could do like a partnership with one of the raunchy. I think maybe Domino's might be on it. They might try. They might, but you can't, because here was the thought.
It could be the hut and the hub.
No one out pizzas the hub. You can't do it because of the implications of the slang pizza.
Oh,
They'll never be able to do it. That was my thought.
What the fuck is the slang for pizza?
Okay. Holy shit!
Isn't my
Mr. Literal. Holy shit! He doesn't get. Okay, so
oh goodness gracious!
right.
This is a landmine.
This is a landmine.
is it a butthole?
No.
No.
So cheese pizza, the abbreviation is CP. There's also something that's illegal that is abbreviated with CP.
Yeah.
So without getting too deep into it, like if they couldn't like no one out pizzas the hub. They just can't do it.
Yeah.
Given the connotations for pizza and what they stand for in hopes it just doesn't work. That was my thought, and it probably will never do this shit again. But maybe next time, take another look in Red's head.
Oh my gosh! Why did
That
it have
1,000-yard stare from Chrono, like, oh my gosh, what did he do?
Why did it have to be so juicily controversial?
Like, the intro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
A new segment, and I just dumped all over it.
A lot of people are going to be like,
Two girls, one cupped that segment.
Yes.
oh no.
Oh,
You know what? Enough implications abound. This is
Yes.
horrible.
Implications unpleasant.
Right? Yes. Oh my goodness. Welcome to Critical Hit.
so endings. Hopefully this isn't the end. But
It's like so endings.
we'll talk about other shit's endings, because, like, right, just as important as your entire plot up to that, you can kind of wreck an entire story with ending it wrong.
No, guaranteed.
There's
Okay, see, there's been mediocre stories that wrap up everything so well that they become a great story. Mm-hmm. Endings are the most important fucking part of a story.
Yep.
I can't even argue with that. Yeah.
I do agree, because you know, you can have the wildest, craziest, like, in between ever. Okay, this is cool. You know, the story's cool, the characters are cool, awesome.
Even if you start landing, like, dumb arcs and
Yeah. You know, here's the thing: you can recover, or you could trash on the whole thing.
Yep.
So, like, I do want to. So before we get to do this, is going to be a bit of a weird sidebar, but this is something I wanted to mention, because I feel like writing is a big thing here. So, an example of bad writing that I do not think is going to end well. Have you watched that new Velma series?
Oh my gosh.
on HBO? So here's the thing. It is exactly as bad as you would think it would be. Maybe worse, because there's no context where it's good. So, you know, Scooby-Doo...
Just the end you hear.
Listen, no. As a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, I think they might have turned Scooby into a girl character.
What?
Not a dog, but a human girl.
Oh boy.
So
her nickname.
so
I'm gonna interrupt you because
That's fucking terrible.
here's the thing: that series has a great ending.
It's canceled?
No, you know it's a prequel to Scooby-Doo, right?
listen.
That doesn't make any fucking sense because they had a pup named Scooby-Doo.
All right, that's a bit of
No, that said it was a prequel. So Scooby-Doo, where are you?
No,
That shitty show got a good ending.
you're a dick for that.
Yeah.
Listen,
And they just calm down. Whatever bullshit happened, they just calm down.
So I'm gonna give an example. I'm gonna ignore that shit.
Shitty end.
No, because I might just completely kibosh you because I despise this series, and I think everyone does.
Yes, but there's
I think
good
the
reason.
problem comes from people giving it attention.
That's a shockingly good point, but you would probably watch a train crash.
No,
Yeah, see,
Have you ever stopped to look at a car accident?
that's fucked up.
this.
Have you ever stopped to look at a car accident?
Okay. Yeah.
So you would watch a train crash.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody fucking does it. It's human nature.
Though I will say, resoundingly, you are correct, because there is like this just vicious cycle of you hate watch something.
Oh my God.
You're like, you know it's gonna suck.
Yeah, that's why I don't do that.
But I fucking do, because I love the drama.
Yeah, but I don't hate myself like that. I'm not a self-flagellator.
See it.
Flatulator?
Why?
Flaggy. G.
I thought the same thing.
Oh, I was like, he's farting on himself?
That's what I thought you like you shitted on yourself.
As a member of one of the big ones, you should know what flagellation is.
Oh, nope. You'd be surprised how little I know. It's like,
When you
nope.
take a whip and you whip yourself.
Okay.
It's repentance through blood.
Love it.
Okay, you know what? Fine, you're correct. You're correct. However, I will say, I'll give it this. It's as bad as you think it's going to be. Don't watch it. It's fucking horrible. And I do agree. I'm not giving it any attention. Fuck them. And Mindy Kaling or whatever the fuck her name is. Your writing is trash.
Yeah. Oh my God. Let's go. Could this be it?
That shit is garbage.
Oh my God. All of a sudden, Crimson's got a really weird celebrity beef.
Mindy Kaling?
Yeah, that's her name. Fuck her. She's terrible.
Wow.
So that's it.
I'm not putting my glasses back on this episode.
So bad writing.
But it's saved by the fact that it becomes Scooby-Doo. Where are you?
It makes no fucking sense for it to be a fucking prequel.
You want to have a fist fight? Let's have a fist fight.
My glasses are already off, so I'm ready to go.
Oh, crap. I don't want to take in the time it takes me to take my glasses off. I'm getting checked.
So,
He's going to come at the right, I'm going to come at the left.
hold on. So,
Shut up. I'll throw this fucking can. So, I think some of the examples of like bad fucking endings, in my opinion, are ones that are like trying too hard to like split your brain and be like very, very highbrow.
Like Lost?
I was gonna say Evangelion, but it's the same fucking energy.
yeah, that's true. Because like that was built on some lost energy, or vice versa, actually.
Yeah, because
Evangelion is older.
Yeah.
it's older than we are.
Not the reboot, though. And there's literally a line from one of the characters where he tells the main character things are going to be different this time.
That's so fucking cute. That's so fucking
So
cute.
hold up, can I also sidebar again? But here's the thing: very weird concept that's happening a lot lately. Reboots that change the story of the original, but also recognize that they're changing the story of the original and they write it into the new story. That's a thing, and it's bothering.
I mean, that's where I'm thinking the Final Fantasy VII remake is going to go.
Yeah, that's what like. Not the type of spoiler I'm trying to give. Sorry, another sidebar.
I totally.
It's a fucking spoiler episode. We put the warnings at the beginning. We're going to have recorded warnings at the beginning. If they're listening at this point and anything gets spoiled, fuck them.
True. True. You know what? I like that energy.
We put trigger warnings on shit. If you go beyond that and get triggered, that's not our fault.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. But it's it's weird. It's a thing, and like they're conscious of it, and it's like, I guess it's kind of smart though. Because, especially if you're rebooting something that is amazing to begin with, and like, say what you...
Evangelion is just fucking weird, though.
It is weird. It's weird, but there's arguably everything that is, I guess, considered genius is also equal parts fucking weird, and that's never really not been the case. Like, I would argue that everything that is like a masterpiece is a little strange.
Genius and madness are two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So now I'm not. There's some shit that's weird in there that I am not.
We're not going like Eli Roth weird with the Green Inferno and all his kind of weird shit.
Yeah. Ooh, I appreciate you right now. I'm glad you remembered that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have callbacks.
That was just bad.
Because see, there's the thing where it's like, there should be a little bit of strangeness in a good story. Mystery is important to a story.
Yeah. But you know what that is? That kind of goes back into what I was saying. I think this is why it's a good idea, to like recognize that you're changing things and like not try to just retell the same thing. Because if it was good already, like, lightning's not gonna strike twice. You know what I'm saying? No matter what you do, there's always gonna be a comparison, and it's usually gonna be favoring the negative. Even if technology has come farther, productions come farther, all this crap has come farther, but it's still going to be compared to that original, the nostalgia, and just the first experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
So I think taking a different route on it is kind of the best thing you can do if the first thing lived up to its vision.
Especially if, you're hitting... So the people who watch... Once again, since we're talking about it, the people who have watched Evangelion, they're still alive and active.
Yeah.
So if you sit there and in that case, they went ahead and turned the entirety of that series into 4 movies. Mm-hmm. And they are not short movies.
No, because they're encompassing an entire series.
Yes. It might do you some good to... I mean, because, what's the motivation to continue it if you already know the ending?
Yeah. And it's arguably, it looks better. It looks shinier, yeah. But nobody was looking at Evangelion ever and being like, this looks like crap. It was always a good-looking series.
There was a lot of thirsty people.
Yes. Yes, there was.
Ray.
Listen.
I love how I know your type. So well.
I need you to get out of here. It was my younger years. Anyways.
Who's the older one, the dark-haired one?
Oh, May? That's the one?
That was May, wasn't it?
That explains a lot. that was your type.
No, that's absolutely his type.
That explains a lot. It really does.
He likes hot moms. Mom-style characters.
Indeed. So...
Ending that line of thought.
Did we do any thirsty shit last episode? We didn't.
We were talking about death.
Yeah, there was nothing to thirst over.
Yeah,
so we have a quota to meet, and I almost feel like we did it. Congratulations, boys.
Well, we have to make up for last week, so we need another one.
Yeah, this is true.
This is going to be an easy objective to take. So the other thing that I was thinking, right, is the theming of endings. So my pet peeve for endings are the ones that
Hey there.
tune in every week to hear my kids. I'm aware of it.
Yeah, it's there.
I can't get it to stop. So the rough ending for me is ones that raise more questions than they answer, especially if they're not planning to continue on it.
Yeah.
So, I feel like
Okay. The ending of Cowboy Bebop.
That is different. So interpretation, leaving it up for interpretation is fine. I was going to cite the ending of The Sopranos.
Fuck that ending.
Oh, come on, though.
I hate that ending.
No, it was rough. It was rough. I'm not going to lie. It was rough. But it was a situation where it's the climax of the series. They're all sitting in that restaurant, and those couple of people enter. Mm-hmm. And then that cut to black. I don't think that it's a situation where it raised more questions, but I think leaving it up for interpretation, maybe the chaotic side of that concept is perfectly epitomized in that fucking ending.
So here's the thing.
Did they come in there and fucking shoot it up? Is there nobody fucking left?
As far as what I believe I've read this somewhere, the creator was like, no, Tony just gets shot in that ending, and then that's it.
Yeah, did they come and clip them? Because they have a sequel. They have a sequel to that series.
Which I'm
not sure if it did really well.
No, it didn't. I do remember hearing about that. And I mean, no. I'm going to keep it a buck. Yeah, it might not have been the most satisfying.
Now, does James Gandolfini's son, they made a prequel to that series as well.
Never watched it.
And Gandolfini's son plays Tony Soprano.
Yeah. Oh, wait, that might be the one I was talking about. Because I actually, that's because I do remember that.
But you know what that ending is better than? Fucking Game of Thrones is a piece of shit.
So here's the thing. So 2 things. I'm going to give 2 things. Can I? Because I'm going to kind of back and forth here.
Run.
I have something to add to yours as well, Chrono. But here's the problem that I have with the Sopranos ending. It's not a conceptual problem as much as it is a payoff for investment. So here's the thing.
I agree.
So if you are a person who sits through a long-running series, and if there was quality ups and downs, even though it was pretty consistent, there was quality ups and downs that a viewer theoretically has stuck through this series.
Well, right, because it was what, 8 to 10 episodes a season.
Yeah.
All at least hour-long episodes.
Yes.
Over like 7 or 8 years, I think, because they had to take a break because somebody got injured in the middle or something.
Yeah, and this was an HBO series, man.
So right, I mean, think about 8 years. That's a quarter roughly of all of our lives. It's a little more than that at the moment, but this year it will be a quarter for you.
Yeah. Like think about that. You invested that amount of time, and that's why I think the ending is so important. Because you are essentially taking, hundreds of thousands, millions of viewers' time and putting it all into this finale that has to be equal parts conceptual and just satisfactory. Because when you see this ending, you want to be like, man, that was my series right there.
Right.
Because it's already going to be a mixed feeling. Because you've invested so much time, and you've watched it with friends and family and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a weird roller coaster when you get to the end anyway, and it's gonna be hard to take in the first place. But just a cut to black, it doesn't fulfill the satisfying media part of that ending.
You know what would have been better if they were gonna do the cut to black if there was a single gunshot.
Oh. Yeah, because that right there, it's a finality, and you know what? That's it. Boom.
Because, yes, that would raise some questions, like who did they shoot, who was shooting, but just one single gunshot, I think would have added so much.
As a fine trade-off, before the little fucking extra bit at the end, Red Dead Redemption 1. Oh, fucking gosh. That was fucking amazing. That
was good, yeah.
And it's like...
I'm not even gonna lie. I think I cried on that one.
Dude,
so did I.
That's
a good fucking ending.
That's what I'm saying.
But, okay, so I actually, except for the fact that they kept teenage Jack's voice for when he's an adult, that was my only problem really with the post game. Because going and killing that FBI agent was fucking satisfying. Mm-hmm. Well, that Pinkerton piece of shit.
Here's what I'm gonna say. Yes,
because I had the automatic handgun. And as soon as it went into bullet time, I lit up from his groin to his face.
And cool, it feels good, but I'm gonna argue that going for the satisfactory moment devalued the initial ending.
Not really.
I believe it did, because when it comes to, because this is, to me, because this is a big thing for me, and you'll see this going forward, the proper use of drama and tragedy. That would have just been cool if you could just pick it up after and you could go right back into the open world. It is a video game. But if that was the ending, that's just it, last man standing, you take some guys with you and then he drops them. Yeah, it's tragic, but that also is just kind of the way of the cowboy, which that was kind of the thing.
Yeah.
That was the whole concept behind all Red Dead games. Is that it was the harsh reality of being an outlaw. And it's that was just kind of what it was. And it was so it was perfect. It was that to me was perfect. It was perfectly tragic.
The whole lead up to it was fucking heavy too.
Yeah.
They were all under attack. Martian was he was trying to basically just be the guy. And he was no, everybody stay inside. And then his son joined the fight.
No.
And, oh, wait, no.
It's Uncle.
Yeah.
Because Uncle is are you ready to do this? You know what's going to happen. And John is fully yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But we got to do this.
Yeah,
they have to get away.
He sends his family away.
He forgot Abigail and Jack leave.
Yes.
Because fuck. Pinkerton agent Ed Ross.
Yeah,
He can eat a dick and die, and that's why I shot him 17 times.
Yeah, it was
in Mexico.
But here's the thing. Here's the other.
Fuck that guy.
Here's the other thing I'm gonna say, because I do want to sum this up, because there is also something else I wanted to say.
Right.
So I was so ready for this. So here's the thing. I would have rather them saved his son's story for another game.
A sequel?
Give it the time.
Even an interquel would have been okay.
Yeah, there should have been a build-up. Imagine if you would.
If they skipped Undead Nightmare.
Yeah. But imagine this. Because you remember
I like Undead Nightmare. It was a nice side story.
You remember what it was like to play through Fable, though, right? Mm-hmm. So do you remember, like, you started as a young buck, grew up type of thing? Like, if you picked up Red Dead Redemption Theoretical 2... Right, he's on the fucking horse, man. Like, he knows what happened. And from that point, you just pick up after him. And you're building up this revenge mission, man. You know what you're going after. Like, he wasn't an outlaw at all. And he goes down that path because he just wants to find and kill this guy.
No,
like,
that's literally, like, he just becomes a gunslinger.
But it's just too quick. It's unsatisfactory because it just wraps it up too well.
Well, that's the thing, right? Have you beaten 2?
I have not.
Okay, well,
I don't want spoilers because I haven't played 2 yet. I want.
Yeah, that's.
I actually have it.
Fine.
I'm gonna get into it. That I don't want. At this point, we put our warning, so I don't care about the listeners, but I care about me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so here's the thing. It's a prequel, right?
Oh shit! I did not know that.
Okay, it's a prequel, so.
That'll be painfully obvious when you hear certain characters' names right at the start of the game.
So
There is a similar transition.
Right. Okay.
In it.
Okay.
So
that's all I'll say.
The other thing I'm going to say, I am going to try to, because I got to get off my point. The other thing I'm going to say is Game of Thrones just sucked in general. I don't think the ending was bad. I think Game of Thrones is garbage, and I think it's always been garbage. So
I mean, if you got rid of the rape, Game of Thrones goes up a little bit.
A little bit, but here's the thing, because this is it's a cardinal sin, man, in my opinion, is writing characters to be victims. Can't fucking stand it. Their whole point is to get introduced in here to either die or get molested, raped, whatever. Just be a victim.
No, I agree. Rape is a shitty motivator because that feels like whenever there's like a strong female character, right? Because Sansa Stark does end up a really strong character, but she gets fucking abused throughout that whole series. Whereas her younger sister, Arya, which until the last season was a really fantastic character because, like, she sees her dad die and then she goes off on adventures and, like, learns how to cut people's faces off so she can wear them. She goes through this whole fucking thing and doesn't have any of that shit happen to her. She gets a little, like, because she ends up working for Tywin Lannister, which obviously his grandson is the one who ordered the death of her dad. But she cuts her hair, and since she's still, not in puberty, she looks like a little boy. So she's just like his chamber pot guy.
Right.
And he's teaching her stuff. So she's learning from a man who is technically a military genius. But Arya's journey is actually really cool. But then it ends up feeling shitty because she's the real fucking hero of that series. Jon Snow didn't need to be there. They should have just called it, "This is fucking Arya Stark's journey. Fuck you."
Well, and I think that... Because I think you're not writing good characters, right? You're writing a tropey, plotted out kind of reason to have something dramatic happen or something tragic happen. And that's why it's like, because I believe this and I'm a firm believer in this, and there might be case-to-case studies where this is not the case, but characters make a story. You almost 9 times out of 10, I'm going to bet you the eye-catching or ear-catching part of something was the character, how they're described, their actions, their mannerisms. All these things stick with you, and it's classic literature to say to almost begrudge on these things. and then you bring in said character just to be like, hey, chapter 2, fucking dead. Like, oh, cool, they did this. Really
The Walking Dead is famous for that shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm like, and it's like, because straight up, not only is it just kind of, in my opinion, shitty writing, but you're gonna lose fans and readers, watchers, whatever it might be, because there's this character that you've stuck on and you've had in this thing for so long, and they were so like important with everything, and then everybody just generally loved them. And then you have, I'm gonna be straight with it, Negan, little fucking, I hate that guy, because like
When he killed Glenn and Abraham.
yeah, and PP Pants, shut the fuck up. I hate Negan. Now here's the thing, you're supposed to.
Well, so here's my thing, right? I actually think I like the governor more as a villain than Negan, but the governor wound up fucking stupid too. Because here's my thing, right? They made a fucking deal. Rick is like, our people will stay south of the river, your people stay north. How cool would that show have been had it just switched between the two camps, and then like Negan shows up and they just join forces and are like, look, we've had our disagreements in the past and we kind of trade with each other. We just meet at the river to do it. But now this fucker's trying to fuck up our shit. Let's kick his ass.
Yeah.
That actually would have been really cool.
And I think sometimes too, like the outrageousness, and it's like it's already something that is kind of outrageous in the first place, because you have to kind of, obviously zombies, it's not really the most threatening thing in the world, so you have to suspend a lot of reality in the first place.
Right.
And then I'm gonna sit here and believe that this borderline man-child appeared in this fucking, like,
Nah, that's a pretty good way to describe him.
like, really though, because like you would look at that guy at the minute he thought he was going to establish anything, and you probably would have shot his grill out.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
He's like,
No
I've
question.
got my bat. I've got a gun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It doesn't
guns
matter.
didn't disappear.
You know what I'm saying? They all had them. I would have shot him. No questions asked.
Right. And then the fact that they don't even kill him in the comic
Yep.
is so fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And like this weird, like, because he was a shit guy. There was no two ways about it. And then this weird forgiveness that happens. Absolutely not. You bashed that's my comrade.
Right. This,
So-
because that's the thing, right? Glenn fucking saved everybody
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
multiple
Yeah,
times.
he was the genuine good boy of that.
He was
story.
a fucking hero.
Yeah.
And he was kind of the hero of that story.
Right. And here's the thing, right? I'm not against heroic sacrifice. Just save it for the end and make it poignant. There's plenty of stories where the fucking hero dies to save everybody else.
Yeah.
And as somebody who's been, I never really stopped following The Walking Dead. I've done it hands off because I don't watch this show anymore, and I stopped.
Well, they ended the show.
Well, thank goodness, because it was a terrible show.
It got really.
It got bad.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, it got too sexy, and it was like really weird. So
You're not wrong.
the
One of the
So-
problems is they were just introducing characters and then just killing them all.
yeah, it got
Like, did you ever notice there was never more than like 2 black people? As soon as the fucking next one got introduced,
they would
one of the
kill-
other 2
yeah.
died.
Yep.
And since Michonne was there the whole time, and I guess Morgan, so there became 3 black people in this show.
Yep.
Yep.
Michonne, Morgan, and then the revolving door black friend.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, because they had King Ezekiel.
Yeah.
Then they had who's the priest?
Oh, I forgot his name. That weird. Yeah, he was a weird guy.
Revolving door. Oh, that's really messed up.
Tyrese was in there for.
They had Bobby. Tyrese was cool though.
He
I
was
liked
cool.
him.
I know Tyrese was cool.
Tyrese and Bobby were the best.
I agree.
Yeah.
Now, see, the funny part is that I actually kind of like the way Bobby went out because he fucked that gang of cannibals.
Gosh, I loved it.
But he didn't have to be a black dude for that to happen.
Yeah.
Sasha was a great character.
Right.
And
Yeah,
she
yeah.
was. she was Tyrese's little sister. Too.
Yeah. And
Now, that was because the actor was leaving. That's a different story.
She got that Star Trek gig. And
Which she's still doing.
It's like, let's get something better.
that I do remember though, her send off was really, really good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That her
was
whole
really-
episode, I was like,
Yeah.
it made me sick to my stomach. It made me want to cry. But here was the one thing I was going to say. Walking Dead gets worse if you know the actual ending, especially thinking about Glenn
Yeah.
and his legacy, right?
Yeah, because he dies way early in the comic.
At roughly around the same time, right? So when they flash forward to the end of the series, Glenn's son, Herschel, who he left behind, in dying, is a whiny little dickhead and almost brings about another zombie apocalypse because he has a traveling roadshow of fucking dead. And
man.
like they really left hooked Glenn as a character like badly, and they
Right.
never stopped.
And
That was what's really rough about that.
And I think that's kind of like a fine example too, that it's like that's kind of The Walking Dead's downfall, right? And I think the reason why, even going back to saying the governor is a better villain, is because I think it just had to continue getting more outlandish.
So we talked about this a little bit in Toonami, the power creep of Dragon Ball, right?
Yeah.
The Walking Dead kind of has the same problem, which is why it's fucking stupid.
Yeah, they gotta be stronger. They gotta. They gotta.
That's a weird thing to think about.
It's weird.
That's what it is, though. The governor was a big villain. Who's next? Negan, who is somehow bigger.
Yeah, which, like, let's be honest, because think about what people take to as leaders. Negan would never be that. He
Right,
would
'cause
never
that's the
be
thing,
bigger
right?
than the governor.
You go from Shane being the big villain and the debate between whether or not Rick's daughter is Shane's daughter, because Shane's a piece of fucking shit.
Shane was garbage.
Then you have the governor who has made a functional society,
Yes.
but then he's somehow loses all fucking
Mental faculties.
intelligence and is like, these people, I have to get the woman that stole my eye. Why?
Yeah,
That's what pisses me off, because basically that's another thing, right? If an ending assassinates a character, and a character death is an ending for a character, that is an ending to a story, his ending completely fucking just assassinates the fact that they set him up as, yes, slightly sociopathic, but he wasn't unfair.
Yes.
Like, if you could contribute, he was fine. And, like, literally, had they just... I get why they didn't turn Michonne over, because she's a cool character, and, like, it's fucking stupid. It's like, dude, you're alive, you lost an eye, you're still kind of able to somehow fucking shoot because you have no depth for fuckingception. But just fucking let it go. You have your territory, they have yours. I still think that would have been a better story, because you could have talked about how, like, they still kind of meet and are like, oh, well, okay.
Uneasy and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll trade at the river, so that way we're not violating each other's territory. We're not raiding your territory. You're not raiding ours. We can establish something here and still keep it going. Because I actually liked the prison story arc. That was a really good setup.
Yeah.
tense balance, I think, is always better than, like, because, like, let's be honest, there was always kind of a grossness, like, and I'm going to describe it as gross, when Negan showed up, and it's like this, because these guys have been dominating, for all intents and purposes, have been dominating everything coming their direction.
Right. Which makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, and then it's like, then Negan comes in, and somehow, like, this is just a straight violation of your sanctity. And it's like, there's just a grossness to
Yeah,
it.
it comes through and takes all your shit.
Yeah.
And, we'll beat somebody up.
Yeah, all up in your house, and it's like this might be a hot take.
Oh, boy.
The same reason why I dislike The Walking Dead is the same reason why I dislike NTR. Oh,
The fuck is NTR?
Oh, that's another. He's learning. Chrono is learning. Go ahead, you degenerates. Discuss it. This cuck stuff.
yeah, that's what it is. Long story short, it's of the spicy variety, but it's always a guy getting completely fucked over by another guy generally sleeping with the girl that he's either with or wanted to be with. It's trash. And for the same fucking reason, that same icky feeling is the same reason why The Walking Dead is garbage.
Some uncultured motherfuckers on this planet. Like, we need a plague.
Yeah.
COVID did not do enough.
So we kind of got into the hot takes asteroid field that is talking about like what makes an ending. I think in this delightfully spoiler filled episode, how about we go for perhaps our favorite ending and then our least fucking favorite ending.
No, I'm going to go with an ending I dislike or even hate.
First.
And an ending I like.
You're going to do it in reverse because you have to be...
The one's going to make me angry, so talking about the other one's going to bring me back up.
Oh.
That's actually that's a pretty smart idea.
That's why you get bad news first.
Okay, good point.
Okay.
All right, shoot.
Oh, I'm starting? Okay.
Yeah, why not?
My bad ending. Knights of the Old Republic 2. Because that was not a fucking ending. You defeat the final boss of 3 floating lightsabers that if you're low on health will just shred your asshole like fucking 3-day-old Mexican food.
Oh, yeah, actually.
You don't know why you ate it. It still tasted good. Most of that game tasted good. That ending is just a perforated fucking rectum on the stain of Knights of the Old Republic 1, which is a fucking god tier game.
You know what? I can't argue with that. I will say Knights of the Old Republic.
Because here's the thing, right? Knights of the Old Republic 2 had so much going for it. They gave you the actual cool fucking prequel trilogy Jedi robes. You had the fucking jacket with the flow. And back in those days, the fucking flowiness to those was fucking amazing. Because they didn't do that in games. Yep. Hair looked like a brick. It was fucking Lego hair. And that's nothing against animators or anything.
Spit my drink all over the table.
Hair is fucking hard to animate. Hair, hands, and walking upstairs are the 3 fucking hardest things animators pretty much say there is to animate. That's why when they hand things between characters, it always changes perspective. Because the fucking action of grabbing something is so fucking intricate that we're really just starting to get the technology to do it. That's the thing about walking upstairs, too. That's why it always changes perspective. Because it's very fucking somehow hard to get that animation right. But
I mean, that is fair. That is fair.
That ending is your fucking teacher that betrayed you dies. Because, I mean, fuck it. And then your ship flies off to dark space. And that's it. That's your fucking ending. All this buildup of like your character can destroy the fucking Force. There's no resolution to that. Do you know what happens to the fucking exile from Knights of the Old Republic 2? They just die.
Nondescript.
In the book that they wrote about Revan for their shitty MMO, where Revan lives forever as either a fucking minor NPC that you save or fight, depending on if you go light side or dark side. Yeah.
That's
wow.
Yeah.
That's corny.
Wow,
this is fucking like 20-year-old vitriol almost for me at this point.
Yikes.
Man.
So I'm pulling deep on this one because so much of this fucking game was good. Going around the planets, fucking recovering your Force powers, figuring out all this shit, finding the Jedi Masters, fucking re-meeting Canderous fucking Ordo as Mandalore on Duxon.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your Mandalorian companion from Knights of the Old Republic 1 comes back as the fucking Mandalore. He recovers the armor because Revan gave him the order that, like, look, I'm going to deep space, dark space, because I need to find out what the fuck the real Sith are trying to do. That's why Revan went to the dark side. He knew the Republic could not give him the forces he needed to fight the real Sith Empire. So Revan's book, he goes to do that. Mitra Sulik, because that's the Exile's canon name, just gets stabbed and dies. The fucking admiral that defeated the Mandalorian fleet just gets stabbed and dies. A character that fucking cool gets wasted.
By a rando, probably.
It was the Sith Emperor, technically.
Oh, whatever.
But they didn't put that in a fucking game.
Yeah, that's...
But how fucking cool would Knights of the Old Republic have been if they had the import flags like the Mass Effect trilogy does? Where you have your fucking Revan and your Exile. Your Exile joins Revan's party, and you're back to being Revan in 3. And you get both fucking parties.
That'd be sick.
I mean, I mean, that could have been so much better. No, you're right about that.
But now we have fucking Aspir blew out, like, again, a perforated fucking rectum, and just shit everywhere on the Coder remake. Yep. I'm hoping Saber Interactive has a fucking power washer and can clean it up.
Oh, I mean, damn. you can feel the scorn in this.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's fair. I mean, having an ending that is just like, again, the build up, you have so much going into something.
Right, because it was supposed to be a trilogy, right? And that's the thing, right? Mass Effect 2, while its ending doesn't necessarily affect anything in the trilogy, because that's the thing, right? You could take Mass Effect 2 out of the trilogy and you wouldn't lose much.
Right.
But Mass Effect 2 is such a fantastic fucking game. That suicide mission is still one of my favorite fucking missions. I'm getting spine chills talking about it. It's that fucking good. I have not beaten that game 70 fucking times for no reason. Actually, I think I'm up to 72 now, but whatever.
Whoa, that's incredible. So
I'm gonna need a screenshot of this or some way to confirm this, because that is insane numbers.
So pretty much from 2010 to 2012, when between Mass Effect 2 and 3 coming out, I only played Mass Effect 2. That was it. I would take a break to play Dragon Age Origins every couple of weeks, but I could run that game in a day.
That's remarkable.
That's all I was doing, was staying up, playing that game, go to sleep, wake up, eat, play that game.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like everybody kind of has that game, though.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
Like, everybody's had that time. I mean, ours was, like, Sega Genesis, because we did just unnecessary. You couldn't save. You couldn't. So I feel like a lot of our run-throughs from just start to finish was, like, Sega Genesis.
But, like, at least Mass Effect 2 still contributes to the story. Knights of the Old Republic 2 doesn't.
Right.
It butchers its own fucking story badly.
And then sets it up for possibly the ultimate bad end and
Right.
turns it into an MMO.
Yeah.
You lose your one protagonist, and then Revan goes into stasis for 300 years.
Yep. And then wakes up to be a non-player character.
Or a mini-boss.
Or a...
Not a boss. A mini-boss.
Garbage.
Because if you go dark side, you kill him.
Damn.
That's garbage, dude.
Okay, yeah, that's...
Yeah, that's bad.
Okay, I don't...
Unceremonious. You treat
Which
the characters like shit.
It's funny because it was like, that's the sad part is that the MMO actually tells some really good stories. Everything I've read is that, like, it's a lot like Guild Wars in the sense that you can just play it single player. And all the stories, they wrote unique stories for every fucking path. The problem is that they just shit all over their own old lore. Because here's the thing, right? Revan and Bastila have a child.
Woo.
Yeah.
Okay.
That whole thing that Luke has to learn about, like, you know, the fact that you can't ignore the dark side, overcoming it is part of being a Jedi. That's
Right.
what Qui-Gon learns. Luke learns it. They shit all over that in the fucking new trilogy, but we're not here to talk about that. I mean, we could, because this is fucking endings. But Revan learns that, but before Bastila finds out she's pregnant, he's off in deep space.
Wow.
But she names her child Varen, and he has no force abilities. You know what he does have, though? Charisma. That motherfucker becomes a senator, has his own child who is fucking super strong in the force. And that's the thing. When you get to the Old Republic MMO, there's one that is not a force user that is alive and one that is a force user that is alive. But basically, the Jedi Council and Revan come to an agreement. Revan's like, I won't teach this to these guys, even though I think I should. You don't fucking try and exile me again.
Wow.
So Revan is still a Jedi Knight, because the canon ending for Knights of the Old Republic is the light side ending.
Yeah, which I kind of thought was a better one anyways.
I agree.
Like,
There is something about hearing the chant of "All Hail Lord Revan."
yeah, that's
The dark side ending in Knights of the Old Republic 1 is pretty good,
I like the dark side ending.
but I like the light side more.
I would even argue that Knights of the Old Republic 1 has still done a light side, dark side ending the best.
I would agree, because here's the thing,
Infamous, the first Infamous, and the second Infamous.
But
Those games.
Coder 1, though, the thing about it is that it's not an everybody dies ending, right? Yeah, you've had to kill half your fucking party, but you've got the fucking Mandalorian, because Canderous will follow Revan anywhere.
Yes.
You can actually kill Bastila on the light side. Obviously, that's not canon, but
Right.
she sides with you on the dark side, so you kill Jolie Juhani, which is kind of sad because it feels like you should have been able to reconvert Juhani to the dark side. I think that would have been cooler.
Yeah.
But that's nitpicking a fantastic game, because that's the thing, right? If we're going to criticize something, you have to get a little nitpicky.
Yes.
But even then, you could just that's a fucking minor gripe. But you know the most fucked up thing you can do? You can have Zalbar kill Mission. And every time I do a dark side run, that's what I do.
Why?
Because I'm a fucking evil dickbag if I'm going dark side.
That is like one of the worst things that you could possibly.
Oh, no, it's great. You force fucking persuade him to do it. He just kills her. And then when you go to the Starforge, he's like, you fucking made me kill my friend, so then you have to kill him.
Wait a minute. That's how I did it.
Oh,
no, I'm remembering this now.
I forgot.
But that's the thing, right? Old RPGs, they don't really let you do this too much anymore.
Yeah.
The Fallout games, I don't know about 4 because I haven't played it, but those are
4
probably...
is pretty good.
Yeah, I just haven't played it. That's all.
So this is my problem, right? And I feel like when it comes to the current iteration of light side versus dark side, is that it oftentimes there's two different versions of it. There's one where it's through the whole story you're essentially still doing the same fucking thing that you would do on the good side. It's just for some reason somehow this is painted in an evil light in this one, which I think is a very, very cheap way to do that. Or you get the alternative where it's like it's a button press at the end.
Well,
I
so
fucking hate that.
no, you know what's funny is if you go evil in Fallout 3, you can detonate the bomb in Megaton.
Yeah, I do remember, and that was one of the big, like, that was big, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's like that's a huge decision to be made within that story, and it affects like the world. Like it makes a difference, you know?
Because that's one of my favorite things, right? Is the only reason that the one fucking evil rich dude, which no commentary there at all. He wants it blown up because it's obstructing his view.
That's dark.
Yeah, the dude from Tenpenny Tower just wants it gone because it's obstructed. It's an eyesore.
That's dark.
That's
dark.
As I said, there's no commentary there at all or anything.
Yeah, it's in no way.
Look at the screen. So, because you still have to get to a good one. Your good one.
No, we're gonna go around.
Oh, you want to do? Okay, so are we just doing bad first?
Oh shit,
That's up to you guys. You guys can do good first or bad first.
I'll go with mine real quick because this is kind of a personal gripe. Because I've had an interesting investment in the Ninja Gaiden series.
Okay.
You know.
Whoa.
Yeah, kind of deep cut. This is what I'm going to say. I'm talking remake. I'm not talking about, obviously, the side scroller. No, I'm talking about when, yeah. I'm talking about freaking Itagaki, freaking DOA fineness at its best. So Ninja Gaiden.
That's our second thirst quota.
hey. So Ninja Gaiden as a series has never really
didn't have enough fineness in that game. It was like bondage gear. It was really weird.
Adjacent. It was
Anywho.
So the thing about Ninja Gaiden is if early on I feel like I understood what it was. It was a pretty mindless action game, and all the bits of the story really kind of boiled down to pretty much tropey kung fu villain stuff.
Right.
You know, Ninja Master is actually the bad guy, demon, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it was very much, it was a bit campy, but it knew what it was. And at its spirit, it was pretty much still the same thing that Ninja Gaiden, in its original form, was. Very simple. Action game, get to the next cutscene, here's a little bit of a reward at the end, boom, you're done. So, my problem, jump forward to Ninja Gaiden 3.
Okay.
Razor's Edge. This game was trash for so many reasons. So here's the thing.
I'm surprised that this is going this way.
So let me give you a fine example. Ryu Hayabusa needs very little explanation. He fights and kills things en masse.
Yes.
It's not, you know, you're an action game hero. That's what you do.
Yeah, you just, there's some monsters and you cut them into little bits.
Yeah. So
Yeah, he's a Japanese Witcher.
and that's pretty much, and that's
Okay, that's perfect.
That's accurate description. But the funny thing is, he's always just killed demons. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of his thing. He just run through, kill mass demons. Obviously, he had a mission. He's trying to save people. Cool. He was undoubtedly a good guy.
Right.
All the time. So now you get into the Ninja Gaiden 3, and Ninja Gaiden 3 decided to take the route of trying to make him the dark anti-hero.
Oh boy.
So they decided to take it. One, you made it way too deep, because this is not what Ninja Gaiden's about. It's not a commentary about fucking, oh, is he actually a hero?
He walks the razor's edge.
Yeah, fucking, yeah. Edgelord has, Edgelord has trash. Now, here's the thing. They give, and because to make it even more poignant, they don't ever actually tie Ryu Hayabusa down with anything, but they give a pseudo daughter character to him, which is like super nice girl that is also the daughter of the main villain. So he like becomes a pseudo good dad, which is fucking weird because even the dad wasn't necessarily a bad guy, if I remember correctly. He was pretty decent to his daughter in most cases.
The razor's edge of kidnapping someone's child.
Yeah, so it was a bit weird. The context was a bit weird.
I'm your dad now. What?
So now they give, and to further drive home how evil he apparently is, they give him the cursed arm thing.
I remember
and it's
that.
like, and he's got to feed it with blood, or else it's gonna like take him over or some shit, turn him into a demon or some dumb shit. So now mind you, he goes from, they made the villain instead of demons, it was pretty much just everybody. Like it's like now it's humans and this, like you were never really killing humans before in Ninja Gaiden.
Right, unless they were assisting the demons.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Then obviously you would, because they're gonna kill everybody. So it's like, so now they decided to paint it really heavy-handedly in this.
That almost sounds like they were trying to make a Devil May Cry game.
They kind of were, but here's the thing. Devil May Cry, aside from its one weird identity crisis in Devil May Cry 2, still kind of knew what it was.
Right.
Like Dante was a cornball, but he was like the coolest fucking cornball ever. Because
he's got a little bit of Leon Kennedy energy.
He does. He's got Leon. Ooh.
That remake coming out.
Yeah, that remake coming out. Yeah.
We all have that next gen console fucking thing going on. We can get that.
I might actually play this one.
Yeah, I'm running that.
No,
one.
you should play the original one.
I have played the original.
You should play it in VR.
No.
No.
You don't want to get dizzy? You don't want to fall out? Maybe your tread?
No, I get motion sickness if I go in VR too long.
Yeah, same.
I'm not doing that.
I've almost knocked myself out. I've punched a wall, not in anger, but in just the fact that I didn't spatially know where I was.
Yeah,
That was a bad ending to that night.
The one from the dining room.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's all framing. I almost fucking broke my shit. Anyways.
So the problem that I have with it is that they now kind of heavy-handedly switch your main like enemy to humans. to further hammer home the fact that, like, he's just a bloodthirsty monster. Is he actually a hero? So it's like, and then they have these cheesy things where you knock someone down and you slow walk up to them all brooding, which he's never fucking done this before.
Right.
But it's like, knock this dude down, slow walk up to him, stab him gruesomely. Like,
Wow.
like, why did you go full edgelord in a game that, let's be real, never gave shit about it? And it's like, you pass it over, like, as soon as Itagaki left, and then new Team Ninja happened, I guess they decided they needed to make a story out of it, which gets a bit fucking weird. Because it's like, you're kind of trying to sit there and convince me that this guy's a bad guy, and the only way to show him that he's not a bad guy is for him to, like, become a dad. Because that's wholesome.
All right, you know what would have been better for that story if he just cut off the fucking demon arm and did what Baiken does and just get like a fucking chain weapon in there.
Yeah, but then
That would be
the heavy
sick.
Right, see?
But then
better game.
But then the heavy-handed message is not conveyed at that point.
Right, but they could fucking set it up where like he throws out his fucking chain arm and grapples shit with it. Like make a platforming ninja fucking game. You ass cocks.
Okay. I'm gonna argue, right? Because Bionic Commando came out around the same time.
Right.
Trying to sell that one. So Capcom's bigger than Tecmo.
Yeah.
And they could just steamroll your ass with lawsuits.
Cease and desist or something.
Like,
Hold up.
did you really turn Ryu Hayabusa into
I forgot the fucking guy's name.
it was something
Spencer.
There we go. That was a new one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, because they put him in MVC3.
yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, Marvel vs. Capcom for our non-gaming audience.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a weird one.
So I think, though, to sum it up, like, the reason why I don't like it is because it was so much far and removed to, for some reason, just trying to push this weird-ass narrative that, like, came out of nowhere. You
Right.
didn't build it up over... You had 3 games.
They tried to make a commentary where they didn't need a commentary.
Yeah, and you don't have to make a game a commentary. You can just make a game, and it's just as good, if not probably better.
Right.
You want to know, I was surprised that you picked that, but I was like, yeah, he's picking games that had terrible endings. Or he's picking like a plotline that has a terrible ending. Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's my vote for my worst. Like it took, because it's one of those games that was like the hard game that, it was before like the Souls games and everything. Ninja Gaiden was shit. It was like, you can't.
Yeah, but Ninja Gaiden came about, I think, after the Shinobi series, didn't it?
Yeah, but Shinobi was actually kind of banging. It was not.
I liked Shinobi.
Shinobi was a good series, but it was also a hard as fuck game.
Yeah.
Oh, that game was.
But Ninja Gaiden, I would argue, was harder.
Well, yes, but literally one led to the other.
That one boss battle where he's got. Every time he would beat you, he'd go, "The crows will feed on your carcass."
Yeah.
From Shinobi.
Yeah.
It pissed me off, dude. I can't remember his name. He pissed me all the way off.
No, so that's the funny part, right? Just quick aside. Don't you fucking hate those bosses where before them is an unskippable cutscene?
Yes.
Oh man.
Fucking Riku possessed Ansem.
Yes.
Dude.
Fuck Kingdom Hearts.
Every
Speaking of bad endings.
every cutscene in Dissidia, Crisis Core, excuse me. Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII, the original for the PSP, they remade it, and they obviously made cutscenes skippable, but every cutscene was unskippable in the original Crisis Core.
That was actually, remember that was a pretty big thing for Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
They were like,
bad with that.
we spent a lot of time making these. You're just going to watch them.
Don't die, scrub.
Don't die, fucking scrub. How come you weren't level grinding for 2 or 3 hours before you went into this boss fight? Are you stupid?
Like, I don't know, because it's a bad fucking game.
Grind sucks. Okay, so my ending, bad ending, my least fucking favorite ending.
Had to lead with that one to throw you off your game.
Yeah, it kind of did. So it might be hard to just. Okay. So we're gonna go in the realm of anime.
Okay.
Okay, I'm with it.
So there is a series called X.
Oh, fuck. Really? This is the one you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, that deep cut. All right.
Okay, let me see if I can remember. Let's see if I can remember the fucking name. So it's been actually like, oh my fucking golly. It's been probably 20 years since I watched this fucking anime.
Yeah, because we were fucking little.
Now here's the thing. It was its own series, and then it had an OVA, which kind of encompassed the entire series in a truncated version. And then they re-release it again later, and it's on Hulu actually.
I'm not going to watch it if it ends badly, so.
Yeah, it's all.
So it plays into my pet peeve for endings, that it is way too fucking grimdark. So as far as the series goes, this OVA, it actually had a different ending than the actual series. So there were these. I wish I remember the names. Golly, this sucks. But there were three. It was the three childhood friends trope. The older boy, the younger boy, and then the girl. They both kind of had a thing for her.
Yes.
Drunk.
The Book of Life.
Yes.
Fantastic movie with a great ending.
Fair.
So the main character, he leaves for a number of years. He comes back to his hometown. He's kind of thrown into this battle of fates for the the fate of the world. He learns that he's a dragon. He meets 6 other dragons.
This is starting to sound familiar. Like I might have watched this.
They're the dragons of heaven.
Yeah.
And then there's the dragons of earth. They get in fight. They lose people. They're trying to basically stop an Armageddon. His childhood friend, who I remember his name's Fuma.
Oh, I do remember that one. I remember the end.
Yo, he's the Earth, like the number one Earth dragon.
Yeah.
And he Armageddon starts, and basically every fucking character gets clean sweep by Fuma. And it's bloody, it's gruesome. The end is this fight between, oh my gosh, I fucking wish I remember the dude's name.
Because this was bad voice acting.
Yeah.
Oh, it's for kids. Okay.
No.
It was
not that
before
bad?
it predated 4Kids, which
But is
was
it-
actually worse.
Yeah.
Like there was no quality.
Like, yeah. So, yeah, like that was the end. So he cuts Fuma's fucking head off.
Okay.
And so, like, Armageddon is barely averted. But he has got his the girl that he loves is dead. Massive swaths of humanity have been erased.
Right.
All of his the heavenly dragons, all of them are dead. And he is sitting there bawling his eyes out, holding the dead, like the dismembered head of his best friend, screaming "Fuma!"
Yeah.
And like, so it wasn't in and of itself a bad ending, but to me, I have a problem with endings that are very, very, very fucking dismal.
Right. Because there's no coming back from that.
Yeah, dude. Like, how is he gonna?
He's done.
Yeah, he's just gonna.
There's no therapist.
Yeah.
There's probably no therapists left.
Yeah. So
He's just done.
Yeah, because they had, like, it was one of those things where they weren't afraid of showing like a montage of just randos getting crushed by boulders. And,
Right.
Yeah.
The ground opening up and people are just dying en masse. So Armageddon stopped in the way that there is obviously still humans left, but the post-game carnage report is fucking devastating.
Yeah.
Like the girl, the woman that you really love, gone. All
Your
of
best friend dead.
Yeah, you had to cut his head off.
Yeah. To save the world.
All of your new friends gone. Broad swaths of humanity fucking gone.
Yep.
Like, it wasn't a clean fight. It did not end well. And it literally, the last scene of the movie was him screaming, Fuma! Holding a bloody, dead, like, dismembered head. And then it cut to credits.
Yeah.
I was like, Ninja the fuck?
And like, mind you, we're like young by this point.
Right.
We
I think I was maybe 10.
yeah. So it's like, fuck, it gets this bad.
Like, oh my gosh, the world is garbage.
Like, and I think I would have to agree on that like, because in my opinion, it is worse storytelling to be overly grimdark about everything and to be overly sad about everything. And it's an interesting, like, no, this might be controversial, but it's interesting because you see that a lot in the more Eastern or the Nihon type of writing, is that you see this. It's just nothing good can happen to this character. And it's weird to me because I'm like, I get it. You're trying to evoke an emotion, but like, why would you exclusively want to evoke like just depression in its purest sense? And it's like, and it's a bad, and there's a commentary to be had, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, they'll have like animes where it's like, oh, here's a magical girl, but she becomes a magical girl because her entire life she's just been bullied and like stabbed with things and like just like it's always like weirdly excessive and it's
Are you
just
talking
like
about like Magica Madoka?
Oh, that was a rough one.
that one was rough, but it wasn't that one. It was a different. It was one that kind of came out after that.
Once people figured out it was okay,
Yeah, then
to put your magical girls through hell.
Yeah, and it's always just like, and I get it. Yes, bullying happens, and I get like, but it's just like you wake up and it's like everybody in your town is here to fuck with you today, and it's like, and it's gonna happen tomorrow and the next day, and then it's like
Not if you rev up that gat.
and they do. So yeah, no, I agree. I don't think it's good writing to torture your characters. It's a little weird.
Yeah,
It's a little weird.
and I can't even. I guess I can't even really argue with the ending. But to me, I hate how
So you know what probably happened is that he took whatever he used to cut his friend's head off and then just killed himself.
likely.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, right? This is
really-
the only thing I will give an everybody dies ending. There's closure.
Yeah.
I don't like them,
That's not.
but there's
the way that
closure.
you get it. Not like this.
That's dark.
So I guess before we continue with endings that you really liked, I think I will preempt my dislike of completely dismal, grimdark, very depressing endings. I also don't like excessively good endings. Like Resident Evil 5 was one of those things, which was really weird. A really weird thing to bring up because like it's a real like weird,
Shift.
you save Jill. Jill's okay, 100%.
Yep.
She was infected with the plagas. She
was
had a mind
supposed to be
control
dead.
device. It was crazy. And she's okay. And Sheva's fake boyfriend was okay. And you did a dual rocket launcher, and everyone flew away just happy as hell on a fucking helicopter. That made me upset. If it's too sweet and it's all
Right, because Leon comes away from 4 a little scarred.
yeah, he was
Like he's seen some shit.
yes.
Yeah.
They were stupid when they wrote Resident Evil 4.
They couldn't get.
They were stupid and they made Leon a piece of crap, and he was just tropey, and he was just doofusy. He was cheese as fuck. But they managed to bring out the fact that he was been through some shit, and they made him less stupid in 6. But 6 was just fucking bad.
terrible.
Yeah.
Which is the problem. Because Leon's a fantastic character, but they put him in the shittiest Resident Evil.
And it's weird because he was the best part of that dumpster fire.
Right.
It was. So, the best.
Well, this isn't my best.
Okay, well.
But it's a good ending.
Yes.
It's one I like. Because, again, I'm trying to pick games that I know you guys are never going to play because they're somewhere so far back in obscurity that without a ROM, which I might or may not have, I also actually have the original disc for this one, but Wild Arms. The first one.
Yep.
Y'all have heard me talk about this fucking franchise a lot. I will fucking sing its praises until I fucking die.
That's fair. That's fair. I can get behind it.
So the big thing is that to start out the story, your world is dying. Let's be frank about this. There was a fucking war 1,000 years ago between elves and humans joined forces to fight aliens that crash landed because their mother is a fucking planet-eating parasite. Literally, she goes from planet to planet. It's a bit like Lavos from Chrono Trigger, right?
Okay.
Goes to a planet, fucking eats it, shits out babies. This is just mother goes planet to planet, and like the people she takes with her, which actually causes some friction in the villains, because the one villain finds out that, oh, we're not here to conquer this planet and make it our new home. I killed the last planet, and y'all just kind of are my bitch. I brought all of you demons, because that's what they call them, because that's their understanding.
Right.
I brought you all with me to help me fucking destroy this planet, and you all get to die to feed me.
Okay.
So it's kind of funny, because you're fighting these guys, but they're having their own internal struggle, which is something I actually always enjoy, because Siegfried is his name in the first one. That is the leader of them. There's him, there is Lady Harkin, Belzac, and I can't remember the fucking scientist asshole's name. Fuck that guy. But, because he's the only one that's actually, like, evil. Because, yeah, they're, like, fucking trying to conquer your planet, but basically the preempt is that 1,000 years ago, humans and elves got together. They made a weapon called the Guardian Blade, because the idea is that the demon's blood is mercury and their bodies are steel. It's very hard to cut them.
Wow.
They made a weapon that could do it, but it was so fucking strong that, yes, it fucking cut mother the fuck up. She had to go into a cocoon for like 1,000 years to heal. A lot of the demons die.
Yeah.
Like, it's down to like 3 of them technically, because the one isn't actually a human that they capture and brainwash, which I will get to that part of the plot in a second. But this results in the world of Filgaia is slowly dying.
Okay.
Because of the Guardian Blade. It was so strong a fucking weapon. But essentially, there were 7 kingdoms that each had a fragment of Mother, because the idea was keep her apart. So over the course of the next 1,000 years, the demons end up hunting down these fragments. And it comes down to there's only 2 kingdoms left. Adelheid and Artica. And the opening scene is the fall of Artica, because that's where Mother's main body was. So essentially, the elves sealed themselves in a way in an alternate plane because they feel like, well, we fucked the planet, right? But there is actually 1 or 2 that still live on it because they become important in the post game. But so that opening, one of your characters is the sole survivor of that kingdom, and he's carrying that fucking trauma. I shouldn't say he's the sole survivor, because Lady Harkin is actually the other one. There were 7 legendary soldiers in that kingdom of Artica, but they fall to the demons one by one. So it's Garrett Stampede, I think is his full name, is the only one left besides Elmina, who was the sword. They each had like a piece of armor or weaponry that they were called.
Right.
He was the vambrace, which is what you would wear on your sword arm because it's basically a gauntlet. So he goes by Jack Van Durace. So he kind of took his title and made it his name.
Okay.
And Jack is just kind of an everyman name. Your other 2 characters are Cecilia Adelheid, the princess of the Adelheid kingdom, and then Rudy Rough Knight. Yeah, the gun user.
Okay.
Who, as you end up finding out throughout the story, was a result of a project called the Holmkrols Project, where, like a demon, he bleeds mercury, and his body is very hard to fucking hurt.
Oh, wow.
So they made him for the sole purpose of fighting the demons. That's why he can use the arms.
That sounds kind of cool.
It is. But the thing is that Rudy is fucking top of the line hero. So he's a silent protagonist, right? Cecilia and Jack talk, and it's kind of got that thing where like Rudy will answer yes or no. But this dude, so his prologue, because you play through each of the three characters' prologues. His prologue is fucking like he finds a town and he's helping out on like a farm because he just does shit around towns, gets money, moves on. There ends up being a kid who goes into a cave full of monsters nearby, and Rudy, being the fucking stand-up guy he is, he's like, well, I can fight, because he has a sword, too. So he goes in, fucking gets to the end, and it's like, well, shit, because you find this big-ass monster that's immune to swords. And then the tutorial is, this is how you use his fucking gun. Which he ends up with a fucking laser cannon, a rocket launcher, a fucking plasma cannon.
Damn.
He gets a shit ton of stuff. But basically, you start using it. One of the people that comes into the cave, because everybody follows after you because you basically left a trail of fucking carnage, they're like, you're an arms user. Arms users are considered cursed. So they're like, we don't want you. The fucking Timmy, the little boy you saved, is like, what the fuck, people?
Yeah.
This guy just fucking saved me.
Yeah, he's an alright guy.
But they just fucking exile him, and he just moves on. So that's how he ends up in the city of Adelheid.
So the ending of it,
Okay, yes.
How does it hit it out of the park?
Okay, so the ending of this game, right? What happens is that, so Siegfried ends up failing. You fight Mother. You go to Artica and you fight Mother. You kill her. Zyke, you have defeated before. He ends up going back to the core, and he's arguing with her, because that's when he finds out the truth. She overtakes him and starts leading the demons again. But they start going more destructive than conquering. Because here's the thing, right? If you conquer something and you're trying to keep it, you're not going to destroy infrastructure.
right?
But they start blowing up whole fucking towns and shit. But they summon the Tower of Kadingle, which connects to their fucking space station,
Right.
which you end up on. You go up there, you fight him again, and you find out Mother overtook him. And so I have to lead into this because there's one more part where each of the characters, you have to get the three Guardian Lords, basically. You need Zephyr, the Guardian of Hope, Justina, the Guardian of Bravery, and then I can't remember the Guardian of Love's name. But Cecilia loves Rudy. She ends up having to fight a demon that's feeding on his fucking head after he loses his arm,
Oh shit.
because he becomes the new Guardian Blade.
Yes.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
He gets that as his fucking other arm.
Oh, that's
Because
kind
you
of
have to
cool.
forge a new one.
Sweet.
Rudy ends up being the bearer of hope, and Jack becomes the bearer of courage because Lady Harkin remembers who she is. So you have to go, it's a one-on-one fight between swordsmen. Because she's like, I can't be left alive. So he's like, I've got to be the one to do this, guys. This is my past. So he fights and kills her.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because basically she was selected to be the vessel for the next mother. Oh. Because she was that strong.
Right.
So that's just, I mean, because that's, in my opinion, that's a really good build up.
Oh, yeah.
That's a really
Brings
good.
so much into that final battle.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the end.
Yeah.
But, because I'll cover this in a side tangent. Because you can end up meeting the Guardian of Time and he can kind of fix the fucking time stream. But you have to free him from another boss.
Right.
But so you go to the space station. Oh, it's fucking poignantly sad and beautiful at the same time, Jack's story. But you go up, you fucking fight Mother, you kill her. You're going back down in this weird like warp field that functions as the space elevator. Zyke has recovered his fucking brain and has taken Mother's body and infused it in his own. That's your final boss. And the party is like told, you cannot fight in this fucking space. It will destroy everything. But you don't have a choice. He's like, this planet is going to be mine. So you fight in the space, right? Whole thing goes boom. You think your party's dead. Lo and behold, they're in their fucking airship.
Oh, dude, what?
Yeah. You meet up with Elf Girl because she's been able to grow plants, which for a lot of areas of the world is hard. But she starts helping the planet recover because she teams up with the scientist who helps improve Rudy's arms, Emma. Zed, the only demon you leave alive, because he ends up like in a town that only one survivor of, and it's a blind girl. He ends up living, and in the remake, he can actually become a party member.
That's cool.
But you have to fight him because he thinks you're there to like fuck with Aurora, the blind girl, because he falls in love with her. Because she's the only person that's ever treated him with kindness.
Because you can't see him.
Because he looks like kind of a human. He's another swordsman.
Right.
So the thing about Wild Arms Alter Code F is it kind of added a secondary version of everybody. Because Cecilia's your caster, Emma ends up your other caster. Calamity Jane Maxwell is your other arms user.
That's a cool fucking name.
Yeah, Calamity Jane.
That's cool.
And then Zed becomes your other, named for Lord Zed, I really think, because he's such a goofy fucking Power Rangers villain.
That's cool.
But he ends up such a good dude, because he's like, because they destroy the statue in that town that was keeping the barrier over it. It's one of the towns they wipe out. She's the only survivor. He stays there and is just killing monsters all the fucking time to keep her safe.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Right.
Wow.
So it's like an ever-evolving kind of thing.
The story just keeps fucking going and going and going.
And I think that's cool because, like, it's an interesting take on an ending. Because it's very easy to just be like, hard cut, you know what I'm saying? Like, cut the credits, it's done.
Right.
As far as you know, this world is done. But I feel like it does a really good job at painting a picture of, like, there's still more, you know?
So there's a thing called, there's obviously Grimdark, right?
Yes.
But one of my favorite fucking endings is Noble Dark.
Ah, yes. Yeah.
So literally, the ending of Wild Arms 1 is Noble Dark. You've defeated the villains. You've brought the elves back. You've at least talked to them. You've established a relationship. You can go back and visit them. One of them is still living on Filgaia. And she's working with you to grow plants, flowers, and just start, like, stopping the death of the planet.
I mean, that sounds like an amazing ending. Like,
It is.
I like it.
I love the ending of every Wild Arms game.
I'm about to get into that.
Yeah, for some
I would highly
Yeah,
recommend
because
it.
I'm going. I think I'm going. I think that's going to be my next RPG.
Like dive time.
The only one I have not played is 5, and it's one I want to play so fucking bad.
What's it on?
PS2.
Ah,
Oh, no shit. Wild Arms hasn't made it onto any of the...
probably for the better.
Yeah, maybe though. I mean, JRPGs have been making a comeback. I will argue that. So I would say my favorite ending. So no surprise, we sort of talked about it earlier, but I'm gonna go a little bit into why, like, from a storytelling element, it's my favorite ending. I mean, no surprise, Red Dead Redemption 1 is my favorite ending of all time. But it's my favorite ending of all time because it does something sad well. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't take a character and just put them through just an unceremonious and almost like a bit sadistic version of a, dramatic or traumatic experience.
Well, so it's a Noble Dark ending. It's very much a Noble Dark ending.
Yeah, which I do feel like to sum it up, I would say that is like the best version of an ending for me, because I do believe that a good story does have to have some amount of tragedy in it, right? But not the whole thing.
Right.
So the thing that makes the ending amazing is the fact that you play through the story of, John Marston, and it's the story of you're trying to leave something behind that is such a big thing that it's always right on your coattails.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, and no matter, and that's why particularly the good side playthrough is such a huge, impactful thing, because you spend the whole game trying to separate yourself from this other version of you, and you try to, I just want to jump out, because it always feels good to think that you have a backup plan and you have a way to, I'll just get out of this. It gets too dicey. I'm gonna jump out. And it's like, yes, for noble reasons, and that's good, but that type of lifestyle, man, you got into it. That more often than not, there's no easy way out.
Right.
So the thing that I like about it is that, you see this character and you see, a lot of moments where, he's grown, he's changed, he's become a rather honorable person.
Right.
Especially, it gives you even more context if you played Red Dead Redemption 2 at all.
Yes.
You get to see a bit more of the wild side of John Marston.
Yeah.
So,
shit.
Yeah.
So it's
awesome.
Yeah. So it kind of builds, and it's like, so you kind of, you get to see this, he starts as a degenerate, kind of goes and becomes this, honorable, noble person who, would do anything. He's just trying to protect his family.
He's just trying to start a fucking farm.
Yeah, that's it. He just wants to start a farm. That's it. That's what he wants to do. Cut all the rest of this crap, start a farm, right? And it's like, so you get to see this character do things to progress that type of thought and that type of life. And, he's got his son and he's got his wife, and it's like, and you start to see him become that family man.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's beautiful, a very beautiful growth of that character. And the tragedy comes from the very realistic part that no matter how good of a person you turn into, sometimes you can't escape that shit that you got into.
Right. I feel like, though, it's like they dangled that pardon in front of him, right?
Yeah.
Because they were like, first of all, they kidnapped this man's family. So then they're like, we need you to go kill the rest of your gang.
Yeah. So there was tension, there was like stakes, there was like there was everything that goes into just a well played out story in general. And this was one of those things where, a great ending to a great story kind of thing.
Yeah.
You never throughout playing, Red Dead Redemption 1 did you think that John Marston is an unbelievable character, or the things that he was doing was just, it would never felt out of character.
Right.
Because he being a good guy or a bad guy made sense because, he is an outlaw. He has his way of being an outlaw. But then, the story itself is pushing you more towards this kind of growth. And to have it end with, a last stand, and like, not just a last stand where it's like,
he just wins out.
Yeah.
No, he knew he was going to die.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And he knew it, and, like, it was the most badass thing. Because you didn't go out there and, like, man, gun down. Like, you get to get some of them. And, like, that was, like, for me, that was the moment it broke me.
Yeah, because when you do the Deadeye thing, and, like, the truth is, Deadeye in that game will bail you out of so much bullshit.
Yeah.
When it triggers Deadeye for you.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's kind of crazy because the way that they build up to it, it's not going to help. But at the same time, you've been conditioned through the whole game to say, okay,
this high just like
right.
And you're just like, oh, this is my moment. And
because that's right. You get low health and you're like, Deadeye.
Yeah.
You'll fucking wipe out 20 guys.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yep. They did such a good job.
And they snap it away from you so quick. Because it's not like how it gets out of that moment. Black screen, gone. Gone. And then it cuts to him in his final moments. Like, so you felt the impact of like, because now here's the thing, because it's another
eyes are getting hot.
Yeah. And this is game mechanics as a part of storytelling. So this is an interesting little tidbit that the developers of Red Dead Redemption said when it came to why John Marston can eat so many bullets before he dies. So you do die relatively quickly, but you have health, like in a video game.
Well, yeah, but they shoot you like 70 times.
Now what they said was they were shooting at him, but they never hit him. When you die, when you run out of health and you die, is the one time you got hit. So now think about that. Think about that in the context of this story now. So this guy went through all of this crap to an Indiana Jones level of like, I'm getting out of this shit. Woo, 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 woo. Can't touch me. And then this one moment, and it's like, and the amount, like, it's such a like Sparta moment because it's like, all of these guys is what it took, and he still got them.
Yeah, because you had a full-on siege.
Yeah.
Before you,
because they had Gatling guns, they brought cannons.
Yeah, and you were just running that game.
Yeah.
Fuck you, come try me. Like, when he goes down, you think he's at the end of his rope. He can't, like, he's exhausted. Every single trick, he doesn't have advantage on where he's, like, he's not in a fort.
Yeah.
He's at his house.
Yeah, his barn.
Yeah.
And there's something about that, because, like, you know, even the way that you would think of your own house, like, I think of my house as the ultimate tactical advantage. The reality is, it's just a fucking house.
Yeah.
You know, somebody could come through and shoot through my windows and through my walls and
throw a Molotov cocktail in.
I'm not invincible here. And, like, it plays into a lot of it. And, like, this is even before I had kids, but, like, it's also, you know, like, he watched his dad send him off and die.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
And he, like,
like, it was, every bit of it was so well, like, and it's kind of funny because, right, Grand Theft Auto is, like, from Rockstar is, like, so fucking gross and, like, nasty, and they had some nasty shit in Red Dead.
Yeah.
But, like, how can you do both?
weird, right?
You do
weird. And it created such a weirdly likable character that it was like there was some just off the wall situations.
Because we were playing Grand Theft Auto 4 before we jumped into Red Dead.
Yeah. So you get relatable, you get like off the wall, you get like there was some, like charm and charisma. There was like
so like you remember how in Grand Theft Auto, every fucking Grand Theft Auto, Grand Theft Auto, all of them, the main character will sit there and be like, "Oh man, this shit is crazy," but still be doing it.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah. Like, Martian, he had a way. Like, even though because it is a video game, you have to do it.
yeah.
Like, the way that he would get coaxed into it, and then he'd be opposed to it, and then afterwards he'd draw a pretty hard line afterwards.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I remember the one mission where they were implying that the dude was going with a sheep.
Yeah, yeah.
And he yelled at the guy. He's like, "You got problems?" Oh my gosh,
It was.
So as far as that ending goes, it's hard to.
And I will say that even though I personally feel like it could have stopped at the John Marston ending, and I would probably say that just that would have been, in my opinion, the better ending. I will say, as far as, you know, because we talked about earlier that not only does there have to be the conceptual, but there has to be the satisfactory side of an ending.
So I get where you're coming from, where it's like it would have been good to end it there and then give Jack his own story.
Yeah.
But how unsatisfying would it have been to wait 10 years to kill Pinkerton agent Edgar Ross?
Yeah, it did take a mighty long time. So in hindsight, it almost hits a little differently than it did back then.
Right. I get where you're coming from.
And I will say, as far as just creating a satisfactory ending, something that you can sit there, because there is a bit of an expectation you have to live up to when it comes to that, and it's a delicate balance. But I think that was a decent way to do it, all things considered.
I agree.
You know, because you got your vengeance, and it did feel good. Because there's no two ways about it. Because after that, it was tragic, and it was tragedy done right. I love it. It's like this was a tragic character, yes, but the tragedy is not what was the whole character.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I fucking love that.
No, that's the beautiful thing about Jack Van Buren. Is he is the sole survivor. But just to get back to that aside real quick, because I mentioned it, So if you free the Guardian of Time, because that's one of the things, is basically there's a Guardian for each force of nature. There's a Guardian of Snow, Earth, Water, whatever. The Guardian Lords are Deceit, Hope, Love, and Justice.
Okay.
I want to say it's Raftina, but I'm probably wrong. Anyway, but if you free Dondaram, the Time Guardian, he's like, there's a soul in the time stream that shouldn't be there. I can pull this out. And he straight up asks Jack, do you want her to come back with her memories? And he's like, no. Bring her back without them because she doesn't need to remember all the horrible shit she was made to do. And it's funny because Cecilia comes up to him and is like, well, are you sure you want to do that? She's not going to remember you. And he's like, yeah, I'm sure. It just means I get to woo her all over again.
Golly.
Beautiful.
What a fucking G.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It gets better, though. So if you go back to one of the first towns you go to, she ends up being a waitress at the bar there. And Jack will flirt with her a little bit.
Dude, that's cool.
Yep. What an absolute Chad of a fellow.
Oh my gosh. Like, dude. Think about how awesome of a character ending that is.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like,
That's so awesome.
yeah, not a cheesy, fate brings them, but like, no, he's like, I'm just going to go, I'm going to try again.
Yeah. I'm gonna cast that line out the same fucking way.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome.
I cannot recommend those games enough. Because the thing is that, before you go, Wild Arms 2's ending is sadder. And if we have time, I might bring it up. But it's your turn, sir.
Okay. So I'm going to combine. By your endings combined, I have found something that thematically captures both.
Okay.
Beautiful.
And then it's actually a pretty good one because it has some Pinkertons in it. It has some time shit in it. BioShock Infinite.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So,
That's an interesting one.
once upon a time, your boy built a fantastic gaming computer, and that was the game. It came with the graphics card. And didn't think I'd be that into that fucking game. But oh my gosh. It was amazing. Right? You play as Booker DeWitt. Mm-hmm. He's a Pinkerton, ex-Pinkerton.
Yep.
He is tasked with finding the girl to erase his debt. It is painted very vaguely. You never really figure out what his debt is. You kind of do.
You can spoil it.
Oh yeah. So you go and you find the floating city of Columbia.
Columbia.
So they go ahead and one of the first things you do is you have to get baptized to enter into Columbia. They worship Gregory Comstock as their Messiah, the second coming, basically, who brought them into the sky. The whole city is flying. It's a flying city. It's an idyllic, albeit incredibly fucking racist. But
It does have that high South society feel.
yeah. Like one of the first things you do in that game is stop a lynching.
Yeah.
Yep. And
That feels good though.
no, it feels good.
Okay. Quick aside. Play Red Dead 2. You can do that.
Oh, okay. I'm sold.
The main character, like, I have so many times come across like groups of KKK, and the main character is just like, you fucking idiots, and then you just start shooting them.
Yeah, so like,
Morgan.
I ain't got no time. Good games is the only thing that I like. Okay, so you continue this fight and you find Elizabeth. And things start to get fucking crazy, right?
Yep.
She can manipulate time and space. She can open portals. She doesn't have control over this power. Comstock continues to fight harder and harder and unleash all these fucking ridiculous beasts after you that, you know, they're humans. They're humans that have been
Well, yeah, that's always been the case with BioShock.
Morphed and modified to serve his purpose and get Elizabeth back. What you realize, and they do, so it's one of the things where I think it's a fantastic ending, but it also has one of my pet peeves is the lore dump right at the end.
Yeah.
And that's what they do. In the ending, you realize that Gregory Comstock is you!
Booker DeWitt from an alternate timeline.
Yes. So, Booker DeWitt, after the Battle of Wounded Knee, it's an interesting. No, it was an actual massacre.
Yeah, that's a real battle.
I know. I know, but I guess what I'm saying is that it's just funny. So after the Battle of Wounded Knee, Booker DeWitt can either find faith, and it turns him fucking completely chaotic, or he continues kind of down his path. Now, what you learn is that Elizabeth is your daughter.
Yep.
Okay. And Comstock being made infertile after exposure to all this crazy new technology that makes cities float, he opens a portal and fucking steals your daughter. Fuck! As you're wrestling your daughter from yourself, as she is being pulled through the portal, and you're holding onto her little baby hand, the portal closes and cuts her fucking pinky off. Her existing in two timelines fractures the universe as we know it, and that is what gives her the ability to open these rifts through time and space. You realize that the only way to stop Comstock and his... Now you know that there are other universes and that they all have their own Comstocks. The only way to stop this universal convergence and, you know, jumping through time and space and committing war crimes is to die. And the ending is you ending up in kind of this crux of reality where there's like a thin margin where all of these realities meet up. And you stand before a bunch of different alternate versions of Elizabeth who have to, like the baptism in the first part of the game, they hold you underwater and drown you.
Yep.
Noble Dark. Hey, we're all Noble Dark. We like that shit. We love that shit.
Actually, it's kind of funny that you're calling it, because that just takes me back to Chrono Cross. Because that idea is called the darkness beyond time. Like, timelines that no longer exist go there.
Yep.
That's insane, though, because like.
No, it's a good one.
So if it's any indication, I really, really fucking love endings where the main character dies. Like it's a really, really good way to be like, you know, you build up the connection and it's like swoop gone.
Yeah.
And that was the amazing thing is like he learned that.
Oh, y'all are gonna love Final Fantasy IX's ending. Can't spoil it.
He learned that in order to stop this. So Booker DeWitt is the beginning of the branch.
Yep.
Once he stops existing, Comstock will stop existing.
Mm-hmm.
That's so crazy. Like, that's crazy. Like, imagine having to, like, stand there at that point and be like, that's it. This is me. I'm done. I gotta do this.
To save time and space, I have to die.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And again, I say it's the build up, it's the tension. It's like it's a good payoff, man. Like good endings are like it's just so important.
And with that, we are at the last call. Thanks for having a few with us. We are Critical Hit. The drink of the night was Roots and Trees and Friends and Things
A good one.
by Beer Tree Brew.
Beautiful. Here's that can. Dingle, 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 you dick.
Subscribe everywhere you find your podcasts. Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. One of these days I'll figure out the word salad. Pandora. Yeah, there we go.
Abrupt cut to black.
Bang, 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 bang. One for each of us.
Yes. We have episodes every Thursday. Till then, drink hard, play responsibly. The end.
Good night.
Good night, all.